Hello, welcome to today's video. So this is once again this routine of writing on this in this book, and me putting out the perspective, putting out the learning, putting out the experience, putting out the sharing in a video, so that not that you have to take in my perspective, but this will trigger your own perspective that will take you closer to your God self that's very much within you. So, the topic of this video, of this live, is situation versus experience. So, most often we get into many situations on the road, in the family, in official settings, at home settings, with children, with family, with outside family, in community. Wherever we go, we there are many life situations that are happening to us, right? So if you consider a situation that is happening and you see at it, you look at it through the eyes that you see, and your mind is thinking something on the peripheral level, on the surface level, all that you can see is only what meets the eye and what the mind can analyze, what the eyes can see and what the mind can analyze. But if you go deeper into it, if you go a little level 1, level 2, level 3 deeper into every situation, it is no more limited, just limited to just the superficial level. It has much deeper reasoning, with a spiritual reason behind why that situation happened. So, and that when you operate from a deeper level of being, when you are aware of how you are being at your state, what's your, what from what kind of state you are operating from, that gives you an experience in that situation. So yeah, a situation is something that happens at the worldly level, whereas an experience is what you allow inward. You could be in a chaotic situation, but an experience is what you allow to be created inward within you, and what you offer outward through whatever you have allowed inward. So, whatever is happening in the chaotic situation uh, was only a booster, was only a mediator for you to learn more about you, so that you will create a healthy experience that is going inward, that is moving inward. And because of that, because of the internal spiritual experience, because of the internal positive experience that you have allowed to get to be created, you are outwardly, your conduct, your behavior is at a spirit, is could be spiritually matured, right? So an experience is what you allow inward and what you offer outward from the state of being, at the level of your being. And at the level of your being, what is it? You are either in alignment with God self or not in alignment with God self, going back to the same equation. And when you are limiting, when you are limiting yourself to see just what your eyes are seeing and what the mind can analyze, you are stopping yourself to understand more about that situation. And when you are looking at that superficial level, you tend to question, you tend to get into, not just you, anybody, one tends to question, one tends to get into a judgmental mode. One tends to get into why this is happening. We want reasonings, we want logical reasoning, we kind of analyze all of that, and we just don't get an answer about why this happened to me. But deeper layers, once again, deeper layers, that is actually a very healthy experience in your spiritual progress. And that is what we are all here for, right? The sole purpose of this birth in this body, mind, Atman, this entity, is to progress spiritually. All that you do, all that you are receiving, all that you offer is a mediator, is a bridge, is a helping guide for you to progress spiritually. Coming back to if there is anything that I have written that I wanted to share. So, yeah, and again, these questionings, judgmental thinking, the logical analytical thinking that we get into on the worldly level, on the superficial level, we are again looking for answers again at the superficial level, just what the mind sees and what the eyes see and what the mind analyzes. And if you are only seeking for answers from the surface, it is not the whole truth. It is not the absolute truth. And when it is not the absolute truth, you do not feel that fulfillment, that spiritual fulfillment. You again get looped around in similar patterns, questioning life, receiving answers from the superficial layer, but they are not giving you contentment, they are not giving you fulfillment. So until you go a little deeper, you start to learn something from the life situation by actually experiencing it at the state of being. That is when you feel liberated and you feel fulfilled, that yes, I've progressed a bit in my spiritual journey. There is something more that I have written. So yeah, so I was just writing what happens when you operate from the state of being. When you operate from state of being, you first become still because you are in alignment, right? So at the state of being, I'm not operating from the superficial, the thoughts and feelings, the waves in the ocean. Just imagine the waves are moving up and down, up and down. My thoughts are moving up and down, up and down. They are kind of pulling me. Oh, how could this happen? How could that happen? You have to react this way. You got to answer back to that situation. In that situation, yes, all these are waves going up and down, pushing me, pulling me in various directions. But when I choose to operate from the core of my being, then I go deep down into the ocean. And what do you find there deep down in the ocean? Absolute stillness. The animals or uh, um, the sea creatures that are living deep down, they do not know, they are not aware of what is actually happening or the disturbing waves that are flowing at the superficial level. So when you keep yourself rooted at the core of your being, you actually experience that absolute stillness. And no matter how many disturbing thoughts keep going, making their rounds in your mind, do this, do that, you got to answer back, you got to react this way, that, this, etc., etc., all that is happening at the superficial layer, but you being absolutely still, you are not impacted by any of those thoughts. You know, right? You know that you are one with God's self inside, that is within. So the point is this: you first become still, and then your behavior is stemming out, outward behavior is stemming from this stillness. So no matter how disturbing the outside situation was, when one is in alignment with their being, you get in touch with the core of who you are, you create an experience that is flowing inward from the disturbing outside situation, from the chaotic situation happening outside. And because you have allowed an inwardly experience to be created consciously, what you offer, that is how you behave in that chaotic situation, how you behave in that disturbing life situation, is coming from that core being, from who you truly are, from that stillness. And it clearly makes a difference. It is not coming from the disturbed layer that is on the surface, the thoughts and feelings that are kind of passing clouds, coming and going, coming and going, do this, do that, push you here, pull you there. But you are not just there, you are operating deep down, rooted in the to the core of your being. Anything else? Yeah, so you behave accordingly, you are aware, you become aware. So what happens when you are operating from that stillness of your being? Now you are no more looking for reasons, answers, logical, analytical reasoning from the superficial level, right? So now you slowly become aware of the spiritual reasons behind that chaotic situation, spiritual reasons lying deeper in that disturbing life situation, right? And once you become aware that there is a spiritual reason that exists beneath this disturbing situation, you immediately feel very safe and secure, because you are no more operating from the passing clouds, the passing waves, the superficial layer, but you are deeply rooted. You feel safe, you feel secure. So most often, most times what happens is, the kind of defensive mode that one gets into during when there is a disturbing situation, or during any argument, or during any heated conversation is coming, because I don't feel safe in this conversation. I want my voice to be heard. I want them to approve myself, approve me, approve of my idea, approve my opinion, right? But once you operate from the core of your being, you knowing, becoming aware that there is a spiritual reason, there is a spiritual reality beneath this disturbing situation, you immediately feel very safe and secure with the Atman inside, with the being that is housed in this body. And that is your whole job. Just be one with the being that is housed in this body, and the being will thank you. The being will just thank you millions of times, right? Because that's what the whole purpose of this lifetime is. So eventually the being, the Atman, is actually housed in this body to feel grateful that we, this entity of body mind, has allowed the entity to be a channel to do what the Atman is guiding us to do. Coming back to the main topic, so you now know that you are taken care of, you are secure, and with this belief, right? With this belief that you are one with the God self, you you, there are no questions asked about the life situation. You have an unquestionable faith. No matter how disturbing it was, you truly you know that there is a spiritual reason. And then I don't have any doubt. I don't have any doubtful faith. I don't have any questionable faith. I either have faith, or I do not have faith. So I either have faith or I have fear. And when I am operating from the core of my being, I am specific to that life situation, I am having unquestionable faith. So I don't question why that happened. I don't question, no, it's nothing about me or you. But when you operate from that state, just analyze how do you feel when you operate from the core of your being. Just experience that. Just experience that, and you would never let that go. You just want to remain there. You just want to remain aligned. You just want to experience that bliss of being one with the God self inside. So, yeah. So, and now I just written two or three concluding lines. So, you start to believe with unquestionable faith in whatever life brings to you. You know, the situation only came your way to elevate your spiritual journey, to spiritual growth. That's what we started this video from. And yeah, so every situation is here to for you to progress a bit further, bit by bit, moment by moment, inch by inch, a little closer to the God self that is very much present within you. So coming back to the, just ending with the core topic, with the core message, that situations happen, situations keep happening, but when you stop yourself from looking at the situation, at what your mind sees, what your eyes see, and what the mind can analyze, you are losing a lot of what you can actually experience at that moment. So go a little deeper, create an experience that is when you are operating from the core of your being, it is definitely a positive experience that you are creating inward, and that is how you will start to conduct outward as a response to that disturbing situation. So hope you got a bit or two from this video, and just analyze what you have heard until now. Put out a statement to yourself, okay, this is what I'm going to be doing the next time I see something that I feel it is disturbing me. It's not disturbing me, it is helping me, but I feel something is disturbing me. I'm going to do this in the next 24 hours. So put it down in the comment section so that it stays in your mind, and that is how you start to guide yourself. Thanks very much for watching. Do check out the other videos also, and many more that's coming up. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.